Sam did most of the work early, and then a bit of an arm wrestle for the rest of the night, but got the job done nonetheless.
Yes, we knew that Carlton are fast starting team. They usually come out of the blocks pretty hard, so it was a bit of a focus to make sure we were on early. Obviously, they were playing for a bit with Sam Docherty's last game and Jacob Wiedering's 200th game, so we knew there'd be a little bit of extra something about it. So pleased we were able to respond early, and they wouldn't go away, unfortunately, but thought we did what we had to do.
How wary were you of the Sam Docherty factor, and how much did you, I guess, use that in your preparation, just coaching the guys, making them to make sure to keep their heads switched on?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it. We cast in the role of the villain, so we embraced that, and we knew it was part of it. And I think now's the time to celebrate him for the whole competition. For Carlton, obviously, but I think all of us should take a step back. There are not too many stories that go as big and as broad as what he's been able to do for the game, and not just for what he's done on the field, but whether it's kids who hurt their knees and come back from multiple knee reconstructions the way he did, or coming back from his cancer treatments and beating that. I think it's a story for the ages, and tonight won't tarnish it.
How sort of frustrated, given you got out to a 40-point lead and you win by 4 goals, given the tightness of the season? I know they're hard to win, you'll take the 4 points, but were you disappointed that you weren't able to push that ascendancy further?
We take the win. We knew we're going to have to keep winning. We're in we've won 6 of our last 7, and a lot of them have had that feel about them where maybe we could have really put a side away, and we haven't really been able to do that. But we did what was required when it really mattered. They obviously tightened up a little bit and changed some of the way that they played as the game went on, and took some things away from us. And we were reasonably happy with the way that the scoreboard ticked over. We gave up a few easy goals and got a little bit undisciplined with some free kick stuff, so I didn't think we handled all that well throughout the day. So there was some aspects of the game that we need to improve. The clearance numbers and the centre bounce in particular were a bit of a worry, which gave us some field position trouble. So there's some aspects of the game that we need to continue to work on, but take the 4 points and lick our wounds and get ready for Friday night next week.
Good signs for some individuals, particularly Will Day coming back, but also Sicily and Scrimshaw and Barras.
Yeah, I thought obviously great getting Will Day back, and Mitch Lewis coming back and kicking his first goals and being back into the game. I thought were great stories from an injury point of view, and then some guys getting some form. I thought Sis and Morey both I thought were first class tonight, and probably their second week in a row. TB's been quite underrated across the season. He's had a really, really strong year for us, and tonight I think he took 6 or 7 intercept marks and had another 8 or 10 spoils. So his area prowess behind the ball is just vital for us, and Josh battled to be able to keep Kerno to only a couple of shots on goal, and there's some pretty important matchups in the game, which when you play a team like Carlton, you know that they're going to be there. So we're fortunate that our boys got the job done.
What did you like about Will Day?
Him playing. Will just be. I mean, they sat on him, so he hasn't played since. I don't know what game he went out, but it was the first 4 or 5 games of the season was the last time he played, and then he's getting tagged in his first game back. So that shows how Carlton feel about him, and so he's a ultimate professional. We 70% game time was the marker. I think he finished on 69, so I'm really pleased we were able to get him through the game in a healthy way. We had Jai, he did a fitness test yesterday and passed that, and he was okay. So to be able to get him out of the game a little bit earlier and get Daisy the numbers that we wanted from him, that sets us up well for this last month.
Speaking of Jai Newcombe watched on in the captain's run yesterday and was subbed out after half time. Is he sort of feeling the effects of being the sole mid to play every game this season?
I wouldn't say it's the whole thing. He had a bit of a tight calf coming out of the last game. We had a 5-day break. He did a fitness test before the captain's run yesterday. He passed that, so he was no worries. But we've got another trip. We've got to travel. We go over to Adelaide on Friday night next week. Obviously, going to be a massive game for us and for them as well. And that's a game we want our best players fresh and ready. And if we got the chance to take Jai out and get a bit of game time into some others and give him a bit of a freshen up, we thought that was a win.
You
You go.
Did you feel any tightness in his calf?
No. He could have kept playing. No, I actually asked him. I got on the phone with him and said, "How you feeling, mate? I'm thinking about making the sub." He goes, "Oh, yeah, that would not be a bad idea." He said his hips were cramping up or something. So, no, he'll certainly play next week. He'll be fine.
You talk about Day. What were you thinking when he runs back with the flight halfway through the third quarter, just into the forwards leading out of the square?
Sorry, I missed the start.
Day just ran back with the flight to the forwards.
Did he?
leading out
I
of the
missed that. I wish he wouldn't do that. He does not need to be running back with the flight, but I'm not going to be the one to tell him because he won't listen anyway. He plays the game in a certain way. I think everyone likes the way Will Day plays, especially because he's probably not built for it, playing it like that. And I think sometimes he's got a lovable demeanour about him. And, he did a couple of things tonight where you're like, oh, yeah, there it is. He'll obviously be better for playing the game. And, we know that we saw patches of some pretty good footy tonight, and quite often let down by just one piece of skill. And if we can put our best footy together, then we think we can really trouble the best sides.
The side scored 58 points from turnovers tonight. Was that really pleasing? Was that a focus of the game, like focus leading into the game?
No, I mean we don't really focus on scores from a specific spot. I think we had to score from turnover because we probably weren't winning enough clearances to rely on scoring from there. I think at one stage we hadn't won a clearance, but we'd managed to kick 2 goals, and the 2 goals had come from full ground transitions, but the full ground transitions had come from tackle pressure. And probably one of the benefits and positive things to come out of that game is even in a game that perhaps lacked a little bit of energy, our pressure was able to stay really high. Win the pressure count, win the tackles, post clearance, contested possession were in front in that. They obviously got their hands on it at the source a lot more than we did, but a lot of the rest of the game we felt like it was on our terms.
How are you assessing your forward structure? With obviously Gunston's in great form, but Deere, Joel out, Lewis. It's a fair decision you have to make at some point.
Yeah, we are. We're going to have to make some tough decisions going forward. Obviously, the mix of the team is always debated, and what the conditions are, what the size of the ground is. Obviously, we played Adelaide next week, so slightly skinnier ground. So whether we make a change, we played 5 midfielders tonight. Sometimes we only play 4. So there's a bit of a mix to the team that's going to take a bit of nuance and making sure we just pick the team. And I mean, if you go and look at the best teams, there's pretty good players not playing in most of those sides, and we'd like to think we're one of them.
Do you ideally want to get a look at the three of the 4 key forwards? Do you want to get a look at all of them together and then leave one out if it's Gunston getting managed, or obviously Chol at the moment? Do you want to get a look at all the combinations, or do you think you know what the best look is?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that we know. I think they're all potent forwards, and on their day can be fantastic for us. I think the challenge is picking the team that beats the side that we're playing. There's going to be a little bit of that. So, I thought Finn McGuinness's role last week on Butters was absolutely vital, and was really important to winning that game. So that was a specific matchup, and whether Marbs is a really good matchup for a certain defender. Gunners has been playing, obviously it was a great tussle with him and Wiedering tonight. He's a star at his 200th as well. So there's a bit of a mix to the team that we're going to continue to play with.
How do you feel you're set up approaching this last month of the season with big games, Adelaide, Collingwood, Brisbane especially?
Yeah, I mean we play the sides in front of us on the ladder, so our destiny's in our hands. I think when you get to what are we 13 and 6, it's round 21 for us. Now we go into round 21. Right now we're 4th on the ladder. We play the teams in front of us, so you guys don't think we're going to make the finals, and time will tell. But we're certainly looking up, making sure we can get the job done against Adelaide next week. Then that well and truly puts the ball in our court, and that's what every team wants. You get to this time of year, you don't want to be relying on other games. You want to have it in your own hands, and we have that right now. So, pretty good spot to be.
How's Jarman, Sam? Does he have something, a leg issue?
Jars, yeah, I think someone landed on his foot, so I didn't think it was. It was not a injury as such as just a bruise or something like that.
Do you think he's fine for next week?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone landed on his foot, very unusual that you would miss with that, but I don't know. Thanks, Ross.